Hey my loves, my name is Yolanda and this is my very first Scentsy YouTube video. Now I can show you some diffusers and warmers. I can explain to you about our bars. I can show you Scentsy buddies and clips. I can show you all of the great products that Scentsy has to offer. But since this is my very first video, I find it fitting for me to share with you my Scentsy story. Why I decided to become a Scentsy consultant. Now, before I get into that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Yolanda Hardwick Woods. I am married to Marty Woods, and we have one daughter together. Her name is Zaya Simone Woods. Yes, Zaya. Now, you will see Zaya a lot because she loves to be in front of the camera, she loves to entertain, and she loves herself some Scentsy. So if we were out and we were talking, before our conversation was over, she's gonna ask you if you know about Scentsy and if you want a sample. So you will see her again. Now I also have two beautiful stepdaughters, Tyria and Kayla. Now, get into the story. The reason I became a Scentsy consultant is maybe a lot of different reasons maybe. Towards the beginning of the year, after we were doing our taxes, and my husband said, baby, we need a tax write-off. We got to have a tax write-off. And I thought, I like to work out, I like to dance, you like to fish, you like to fix things. You know, my thought was if I have to spend a lot of time doing something, then I want to enjoy what I'm doing, you know? So it we just kind of set it down on the table. It wasn't swept under the rug, but we just kind of set it on the table, you know, to come back to and address a little later. Well, down the road, couple of months, sidetrack a little bit. I was going to work with the dance team at a school, and the sponsor was a counselor. Well, when I walked into the counselor's office, I smelled this fragrance, and I thought, what is that smell? You know, I thought that. So, you know, we were going on down the hall, and I said, what is that smell? And she said, oh, it's Scentsy, and kept moving. You know, she's that type that she's about it. She's about that business, so she's moving. And I didn't understand. I asked her again, you know, what is that smell? She was just, no, I said, well, what? She said, Scentsy. And the way she said it, it was like I was supposed to know what Scentsy was. So I left there not knowing what Scentsy was because I went looking in stores. I went to that store and the other store and the store that you know I went to looking for. And I did not find Scentsy, okay? So on down the road, a couple of months later, we were blessed with our home. We found a nice house that we loved and we were so excited. And I remember being in the car talking to my husband, telling him, look, I do not want people to walk into our house and know that we have a dog. I don't. And now in our other house, I had those things that you hang up and they spray out every ever seconds or minutes or whatever. You put those cans and batteries. Well, when we moved, I had about 7 or 8 of them. And probably half of them didn't work. I didn't know if it was the batteries. You know, I could hear it spraying, but nothing was coming out. So I knew it wasn't the batteries because you could still hear it. The can would be halfway empty. You know, we had plug-ins, we had candles. And, you know, to leave the house and be like, oh my gosh, should I blow out the candles? You know, or to wake up in the middle of the night and found out that you were watching a movie and fell asleep and didn't blow your candles out and your family is in there. Oh my gosh, what could have happened? You know, because things like that happen and it's scary because it could be, you know, it could be you. So anyway, we were talking about that and, you know, he said, well, what about the Scentsy? And I was like, oh yeah, Scentsy. Well, he said, I did some research on network marketing and I found that Scentsy was ranked pretty high in network marketing. And I was like, okay. Kid you not, guys, while we're talking about this, a car passes me and it had the Scentsy decal in the back, Scentsy Independent Consultant. And I was like, okay, is this a coincidence? You know, so we talked about it and, you know, I told my husband, I said, well, you know what? I'm going to go to their website and I'm going to find a consultant and I'm going to, you know, express interest in joining. And I did that, guys. And I didn't get a reply that day and I was kind of shocked about it. And I went and looked at their Facebook page or whatever, so I looked down and I found somebody else. And I contacted that person, and they contacted me back immediately. Bubbly, super sweet, super fun, and I love her to death, which is now my sponsor and my director, Debbie. Okay? Love her. And so I never forget, we were in the furniture store and I'm sorry, I'm looking at the time because I got to get my daughter from the bus. That's why I'm sitting here by the door. But my husband and I were in the furniture store, and we had been in there walking around looking and looking and looking. And the salesman, he was just like, well, just let me know when when you're ready. So we finally found the couch that we wanted to look at. And guys, so my husband went and got the man, and I'm walking around listening to my sponsor. I'm listening to my director's story of, all these things, great and wonderful things that Scentsy has afforded her to do. So I'm listening to this, and I turn around and look, and my husband and the man, they're kicked back on the couch with their legs crossed and just sitting there waiting on me. So anyway, I was able to get off the phone, and I was hesitant about joining at that moment, not because I was hesitant about the company, but because we were just moving. And I did some research, and I realized that Scentsy had a startup, like a 15-day startup thing. They had a 70-day startup thing, and I wanted to come in right. I wanted to come in and work this business and get going with it, but I knew with us moving, there was going to be so much stuff going on. So I didn't want to jump right into it. So I talked to I call her my director now. Now, at that time she wasn't, but I talked to Debbie, and we were just talking about things. We was talking about 2 other companies that I had done before and how I felt like I was working those businesses, but I didn't feel like I was, it got to the point where it just, one of them I never did build a team. I wanted to, but I just didn't. And the other one, I did have a few people on my team, but, we were just kind of talking about those things. And some of them, there were people that did these other businesses that had contacted her because she was doing so well with her business, wanting to know, what are you doing? So long story short, as I was telling her, my goal, what I want to do is I want to be home to get my little girl off the bus when she gets home in the evening. I want to put her on the bus in the morning, and I want to be there when she comes home. I want to do homework with her. I want to cook dinner for my family and sit down and eat and enjoy dinner with my family. I wanted to be able to do those things, but I wanted to do it where we could be comfortable. My husband works a full-time job, and I didn't want him to have to foot everything. I wanted her to be able to do extracurricular activities. I want her to do definitely dance or cheerleading, whichever one she wanted to do. And if it was soccer or something that I know nothing about, then hey, let's go do it. I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to be able to pay for those things. I wanted to be, I want to be present is what I wanted to be. I wanted to be able to help my husband with bills, and I wanted to work from home and build a business, put myself into it, something that I could be super proud of, and, hold my head up and say, hey, I worked this business and this is where I am. So this is the beginning of my journey. So Debbie contacted me, and, we talked, and I told my husband, I was like, I'm ready to do it, but, I want to make sure I have time, So long story short, she offered me an opportunity, and I took it, and I worked it. It was, it could be overwhelming at the beginning, but, I did my part, and I did get the 15-day. I got the shooting star, and I also achieved the 70-day startup, sensational star levels 1, 2, and 3. So guys, it's the beginning of my journey. I signed up as a consultant July the 2nd, and today is October the 2nd. Oh, wow. How many months is that? July, August, September, October. 3 months. And I've promoted 2 times, and I have a team of 13. So I'm super excited, and I can't wait to share more with you about this journey, about my Scentsy journey. I call my team Sensational All-Stars. So, look for us. My name is Yolanda Hardwick Woods. I go by Hugh. And hey, this is my first video. So now we'll be doing a lot of fun things, keeping it interesting, keeping it fun, and I pray that you guys keep coming back to see what we have to offer. As of right now, I pray that you have a super blessed and a super safe day. Love you.